What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 21 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Draft League Week 1 is in the books for most of us at this point. I still have to play my match, but...
By the time this comes out, we will have pairings for round 2, hopefully.
Yeah.
We're waiting on you and one other match.
No, it's just me.
Is it?
Yep.
Then I think I missed one in reporting.
Probably did.
Because I thought I was missing... Yeah, I'm missing Matt and Jonkutsu.
They had reported, right after someone said something about it.
Oh, then I just missed it. Okay. Well, so we're waiting on you. What do you think?
I'm ready to lose. Every week in Draft League, I'm ready to get my butt kicked. That's just my mindset going into matches of any kind. Is I'm just always ready to lose. But it's whatever. It'll be fun. My team's cool. It's gimmicky. It's not really hard to figure out. Apparently, we were talking earlier before I started work today, and Garib said that I have a real tough team to figure out. I'm just apparently I draft really good teams, but I can't play them for squat. So I think I just need to start drafting for people and just let them run wild with their teams.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking to Mafia about after our match yesterday. It was just man, your team is full of very, very powerful mons. And, talking to him afterwards, it's just it seems like he had a misunderstanding of what items he wanted where, and just a couple different things just didn't line up for him. Yeah. I think in my match, which I'm assuming is going to be live before this video goes up, before the podcast goes up.
It'll go up before your video goes up for sure.
So if you haven't watched it yet, go do so, because it's a good showcase of what my team can do.
It's a real humdinger.
We talked a couple weeks back, last week, I think it was last week, about what I wanted to do, and I ended up picking up Midnetric.
Yeah.
Was that last week?
That was last week, yeah.
Okay. Time is everywhere right now, man. I can't remember what happens when. And so I dropped Espeon for Midnetric after doing some calcs with Midnetric.
Yep.
And it was able to answer Wishy-Washy by itself. So I was talking to Evan Smoke yesterday after my match went done. He's like, man, Midnetric and Kling Klang are real cute together. Yeah, they are. Because not only I have Lightning Rod, but I also get plus minus if I want to do that. And then I have Magnetic Flux for Kling Klang. It's there's a lot of things that can just snap together and make those two real good together. But
yeah,
ultimately, was really Serena pulled her weight and then some yesterday, and it was just fantastic. I specifically brought Serena as a counter to Sableye, and I'm pretty sure it swept game 2 by itself, and I think it picked up 2 of the 4 KOs in game 1. So
damn.
Oh yeah, it was not particularly close. Serena did a lot of work, and the KOs that it didn't get, Rotom did, because it never missed a Hydro Pump. Across 2 games, I hit 5 Hydro Pumps. Just well, this is absurd, and that means I'm never going to hit one the rest of the league, so...
But outside of Draft League, we've got a couple teams of the week here, and then you had a really cool electric terrain team you wanted to talk about, and then I have my rain team that I'm taking to the Littleroot Rumble, which is tomorrow night.
Yeah, that is a pretty friendly tournament that... Who was that? Was that... Yeah, Jiggly Dreams put together for us on Discord. He just wanted to have some extra playtime and wanted to be able to host a tournament, and So he put together the Littleroot Rumble, which is going to be small, like I said, pretty small tournament for Showdown. But I'm not going to be able to play because of my work schedule. And I know you said you were going to play Rain. Is that what we're officially locking in?
Yep. Going to play Rain. It's Rain Trick Room with some other stuff thrown in there, but it's pretty solid. We'll go over it probably here in a little bit. Which of these two teams of the league did you want to go over first?
So let's see. We have I have a team from Atomic Penguin, a pretty new user on Discord. They messaged me and said, "Hey, is there a time period before I have to wait to submit a team?" I'm like, "Nah, man, do it. Just give us stuff to talk about this week." He's like, "Okay, here you go." So after a couple weeks back, we were talking about Galarian Weezing. What do you think about Galarian Weezing as a sweeper?
I'm off it.
Okay.
I am not a fan of its sweeping ability. Its move pull is kind of meh, to be honest. Poison doesn't hit a lot, and then you're like fairies into dragons, which is like what your main goal is.
I'm interested in pulling this up on Showdown and actually looking at specific stats. So give me 2.5 to actually get this inputted.
Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go over the rest of these mons here.
Do your thing, man.
There is a G-Max Lapras with weakness policy. I'm a fan of this. This is like my kind of Lapras here.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like kind of supporty Dragapult, but not Will-O-Wisp, Dragon Darts, Ally Switch, Phantom Force. Kind of just like a mixed Dragapult set there. G-Max Venusaur with Black Sludge, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Leaf Storm, Sleep Powder, full speed and special attack. I know a lot of people have been using G-Max Venusaur as a sun counter at the moment. James Beck recently brought his anti-sun team to number 1 on the ranked ladder.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was yesterday or Wednesday that he hit number 1.
Mm-hmm. His was Assault Fest, though. His is playing Weather Ball stuff with Tyranitar and Torkoal.
Not saying we did it first, but I did it first.
Incineroar with Aguaberry. Pretty standard spread here. A lot of speed EVs for an Incineroar. A lot of Incineroar matchups, mirrors are just like speed creep mirrors, so 84 speed investment is a lot to get you up there above all the other Incineroars.
Oh, for sure.
And then we have Crit Kiss, which is pretty standard critical hit Togekiss. A little bit of bulk, but I was playing with Crit Kiss on the Rain team, and you just go down to everything now. Everything is spec'd to KO Togekiss.
Yep.
So,
like my PZ is designed to eliminate Togekiss. Like one of many things that it can just easily pick up a KO on. So, let's see. I want to look at this Weezing stats. So, at the current stats, it has 91 special defense, and I'm not sure that's enough to carry an AV.
No, it's not. That puts you at just below 140.
I was going to say, it rounds down, right?
Yeah, you round down.
So that 4 points we have in special defense actually don't help us at all.
No.
So you could either adjust your HP to make yourself bulkier on the defenses, or I would just cut that 4 and put it into speed. I'm also...
Yeah.
I'm not sure... Like, 81... Like, if we add that point into speed, that puts us at 81 speed. And that seems particularly slow as well.
Yeah, the things you outspeed at 81 are neutral speed, not min speed Incineroar. For like Trick Room teams, you can also outspeed.
Yeah, that's all your base 60 mons.
Yeah, like all your base 60 Mons,
Is that Rillaboom or is Rillaboom base 85?
Rillaboom can get... Min speed gets to 81, so...
Oh, come on. I know I have a Rillaboom team on here. There we go.
Rillaboom gets to 81 as min speed. That's the lowest you can go, so I think it's 85 or 100.
It is 85. Man, I'm good. I may not be good, but I do know something. So, 81 would speed tie you with min speed Rillaboom?
Which...
That doesn't seem great.
No. Does not seem good at all.
But we also, like... Notably, like, Sludge Bomb, Strange Steam, Heat Wave, Clear Smog. Like, that's pretty decent coverage. Clear Smog being able to just deal with all the stat changes that are going on with all the policies and coaching Riolu, which I don't think is particularly good, but I've ran into quite a lot.
I've smashed that team.
Every time.
Every time I seen it. Smashed it.
Like, Decorate Alchemy is another one, like, just get out of here, but Alchemy's, again, not very popular right now. Plus, we have Sludge Bomb for it, so just smashing it before it ever gets to set up seems fine.
Alchemy is popular when Lapras is really, really good. Lapras is kind of medium right now, so, like, when Lapras gets better, Alchemy will get better. It's kind of how that works. They pair well together.
I'm interested in Lapras as a rain counter. I'm not sure if you would, like, specifically want Water Absorb to be, like, full on rain counter, but it definitely seems like something that not enough people have explored at this point. Like you said, Lapras is kind of fallen off the face of the earth at the moment.
It's partly due because Porygon Z is a terror to it.
Yeah.
That real strong Thunderbolt. Plus, we just got Magnezone into the format, which Lapras doesn't line up well against it.
No, quite the opposite. It does not like seeing it at all.
So, also with all these G-Max Venusaurs and Rillabooms, Lapras is just taking a nosedive because all these weaknesses are getting popular.
So the big thing is like, do you see a point in the meta right now where Lapras is viable? I personally think there's just too much going on that, specifically, like you said, Rillaboom, like Cinderace can also beat it up because it has, max Knuckle majority of the time. I believe Max Knuckle is the only thing that can hit Lapras super effectively.
Out of Cinderace?
Uh-huh. Off the top of my head, that's the only one that's commonly played.
That's the only one. That's the only one. Unless they run Electro Ball.
I didn't know it got Electro Ball. That's adorable.
Yeah. But you have to go either Sirius or Hardy or like a neutral nature to run Electro Ball.
Oh yeah, I guess it is special. I didn't think about that.
Yep. So you lose out on attack damage, but like have electric coverage, which is
pretty minuscule.
It's cute, but that's about it.
Yeah, at that point though, like you're not max speed. So like I guess if you don't plan on Dynamaxing Cinderace, you could, but what's the point of playing Cinderace?
Out to KO Libero flying Cinderace when they go for max hair.
That's cute.
You can blow up opposing ones after that, so that's like notable.
Well, the big thing you can do is like max darkness them, and then the next turn, because let's say your Dynamax runs out, then you can Electro Ball them and do massive damage. Plus, Electro Ball from a Cinderace is like, it's always going to be like base 180 or 150 damage, so it's still going to hurt.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's particularly good.
Back to Lapras. I feel like Lapras as a rain counter is fine, especially if most of the rain mons are Ludicolo and like Kingdra, which Kingdra is 4 times weak to freeze dry, and Ludicolo is also 4 times weak to freeze dry.
Mm-hmm.
The issues you run into for Lapras being a rain counter is most rain teams run a bulky steel in the form of a Scavalier or Scizor, Magnezone, things like that. So it's like, if you're wanting to run Lapras as a rain counter, you have to really be good at playing around your opponent's steel type. that can just sit there and tank up all the moves you're going to throw at it.
That's the big thing, is like, how much can you actually do to prevent that? But I don't. The more we talk about it, the less I like it.
Lapras definitely still has a spot in the format as like probably one of the best G-Max mons in the game. Being able to set up Aurora Veil for pretty much free, no matter what the weather is still going to want people to like just have a niche, and it will always be playable and always be viable. It's just you're going to have to work harder to play around the counters instead of just going lead Lapras on turn 1, hit max resonance, get my Aurora Veil. Like, you're going to have to do a little bit more work, which most players are fine with. I've been seeing Lapras still up near the top of the showdown ladder every once in a while, so Lapras is still fine. It's just you got to know how to play around your opponent's counters. This Dragapult, I wish, was either full support or not support.
Yeah, the combination here of both seems interesting.
I actually would like support Dragapult.
Okay.
In this spot. Support Dragapult still runs Dragon Darts. You still get that fine. But like you could drop Phantom Force for like any other support move. Screens, Helping Hand. Heck, you could run Protect if you wanted to. What else is there? What else can Dragapult do? Dragapult does a lot.
It doesn't get Thunder Wave, right? It just gets like Will-O-Wisp.
I think it's just Will-O-Wisp. What else does Dragapult do? Dragapult does a lot. Dragapult is very, very versatile for the mon that it is. How do I not have a team with Dragapult on it?
I was going to say, I have literally the one we have pulled up, so.
Let's see here.
I want. No, that's still not.
You can teach it Psychic Fangs to get other screens. You can teach it Sucker Punch. It does get Thunder Wave.
Interesting.
You get U-Turn, Substitute, Assurance.
We get Helping Hand. I'm pretty sure you said Helping Hand and Confuse Ray.
We also get Beat Up, Breaking Swipe. What else is there?
We could be real cute in Dragon Dance Baton Pass.
Yep, you can do that. Support Dragapult does a lot. I really like Support Dragapult right now, especially since everyone usually has it pegged as a sweeper mon.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to just go, oops, it does nothing, and then blow up their Dynamax or whatever have you with the other mon on your side is just a good thing to be doing. The one problem I see with doing that is we really lack physical sweepers at that point. This Incineroar can hit physically with Darkest Lariat and Flare Blitz on it, but outside of that, it's just like we don't have a lot of physical sweepers anyway. Maybe this Venusaur is better as a Rillaboom anyway. If this is the case, then just so we have more, since we're not pigeonholed into 3 big special attackers like we have here.
That I can understand.
Like even as this Dragapult, it may have Dragon Darts and Phantom Force, but it's just like Incineroar at this case. It's just 2 physical attacks and then support moves. Do not make a physical sweeper.
So I think I like your idea of making this full support Dragapult. I can get down with that. As for like a physical sweeper, I think Venusaur into Rillaboom is probably just the best option.
Yeah, like you get to keep your grass. Rillaboom. Granted, we don't have a good item for Rillaboom besides Koba Berry.
Yeah, because we have the Assault Vest on Weezing.
Unless you want to put Life Orb on it.
I can get you could do Choice Band. James Beck was doing that. I think it was James Beck. So you can do
Banded Boom. Yeah, Banded Boom's also fine.
Like, you want to talk about something that hits hard. That's a grassy glide no one wants to take.
Nope. But yeah. That's about all the changes I'd actually make on this. I'm not a fan of Sweeper Wheezing. I'm just not a fan of this. It's got good coverage, but I just feel like it's not going to output the damage you want it to do, and then it's going to eat like one wrong ground type attack or one wrong psychic attack and then just go down.
Yeah, like I think Wheezing is one that needs a lot of like player agency to be able to use properly, and I'm not sure that I'm in for that.
Who was it I was watching that says Wheezing is not a mon you can just slot into any team and expect it to do well? Wheezing takes a lot of support to actually be viable. Even as just like a support mon, you can't just slap Wheezing onto your team and go, okay, we're good to go. The Wheezing specifically requires a lot of protection, a lot of help, because it doesn't do a whole lot on its own besides just turn off abilities most of the time.
Yep. And I'm not sure, like, notably here, like, the big ability we're losing is, like, Intimidate, and we're losing Super Luck on Togekiss.
Yeah. Like,
Clear Body on Dragapult is, like, pretty negligible, especially if it's a, like, support mon. The big one is, like, Max Strike, but you're still going to be absurdly fast. Shell Armor on the Lapras is also, again, like, kind of whatever.
Shell Armor's good in Urshifu formats because it's just like, you can't crit me.
Yeah, that one I agree with. But you said the words before I could formulate my thought.
I still prefer Shell Armor on my G-Max Laprases over Water Absorb just because you have a lot of bulk in that natural bulk to begin with, and the only way you're going to lose most of these games, if you don't get a bunch of special attack drops, is they crit you out of the game.
Yep.
So Shell Armor
just preventing them from ever doing so. Especially like if Crit Kiss remains as popular as it is currently, then just having this mon that can sit in front of it and say, nah, that's not going to do anything, seems fine.
Yep.
So
okay,
this is an interesting one. I think if they take the ideas that we've suggested, I think this can be fine. Like again, like you've said, Wheezing is one that just like it takes a lot to do what you want it to do. So I'm interested in trying this. Maybe we just want like Misty Surge on Wheezing.
Misty Explosion, just blow up on people.
Like, I could see it. Like, you want to talk about, like, Last Resort, like, a Last Resort button that you can just hit, of just Misty Explosion, hit everything. I'm not against that.
Yep.
So what else we got, man?
Okay, so Slacking and I have been, like, talking about this Intimidate cycle team like nonstop for the past like 3 days. Okay,
so walk us through this one, because I've seen a lot of replays of this, and the first time I watched it, I'm just like, what are you doing? And then like it just keeps going.
The end game goal is to get G-Max Lapras on the field and have your opponent's mons weak enough to where Lapras can just pick up all the KOs. And or Conkeldurr. You cycle in Incineroar and Luxray with multiple Intimidates. Meowstic is your support. Scizor is just coverage moves, and it also benefits from all the Intimidate cycling against your opponent. And eventually we just set up with this Lapras, and we try to just end the game from there. Incineroar, Fake Out, Flare Blitz, Dark Lariat, Parting Shot is fairly standard, but the EVs is where we get a little bit interesting. We are spec'd enough to where we can survive a max ground from Venusaur or Torkoal. And then the rest of our stats went into attack, so we can actually deal damage before we swap out.
Mm-hmm.
Luxray Again, static where it can survive max ground from Venusaur or Torkoal, because that's just like a big problem for us. Volt Switch, Eerie Impulse, Snarl, and Protect. Luxray kind of just shows up, hits Intimidate, hits Snarl, and then Eerie Impulse, and then gets out of there. Meowstic, skill swap to give our Luxray Prankster or our Incineroar Prankster so we can get fast parting shots off or fast Eerie Impulses off. Light Screen to protect against special attackers because we have no problem against physical attackers at the moment. Thunder Wave to speed control, and Yawn to just slow down G-Maxes and Dynamaxes. Life Orb Scizor, Dual Wing Beat, Superpower, Bullet Punch, U-Turn. More of a kind of big attack with a little bit of speed and HP investment on this one. Hits really, really hard, as Scizor normally does. Technician boosted bullet punches are always a thing that you just like fear. Also, Dual Wing Beat is really, really good.
It hits real high. Real hard, man.
Keldor, Assault Vest, Iron Fist is kind of just like the rest of our coverage here. Having Mach Punch and Drain Punch to be able to fight through some of the Pokemon that we have a hard time with. Fire Punch, I'm assuming, is just a coverage move since we don't have a whole lot of fire outside of Incineroar's Flare Blitz. And then Thunder Punch the same way. It's just more coverage because Luxray only has Volt Switch.
So
there's Thunderbolt on Lapras.
There's a couple really interesting things here that we have going on. First off, we have the skill swap on Meowstic, which this is absolutely adorable, and it really confused me the first time I saw it. So, you can skill swap any of your Intimidators. Meowstic will then trigger its own Intimidate for whatever reason.
Yep.
The big one that you can do this with, well, either of them, and then you can hit either Parting Shot or Eerie Impulse, because your Mon now has Prankster, and it will go next.
Yeah, so the cool one is to go Meowstic, Incineroar. Incineroar's Intimidate goes off. Skill swap, Meowstic's Intimidate goes off. Incineroar gets the Parting Shot immediately. Bring in Luxray, another Intimidate goes off. So all your opponents, there's at least -3. One of them's -4.
And like at that point, it's just like, all right, cool. I can take any physical hit that you possibly have from any Mon.
Yep.
I can't imagine we have a good Bisharp matchup. Like any of the Defiant Mons, I'm just like, man, or like competitive. I can't imagine line up particularly well.
That's what Conkeldur's for.
Just come in and punch them instead.
Yep, you just punch them. Who needs to intimidate him? We just lead Meowstic punch.
Meowstic punch.
Set up Thunder Wave or Light Screen and then punch them.
Man, this is one that's really cute.
It's been really good. Every time I've watched it play, it's done really cool things.
He has a Paste Bin available, which we'll have down in the show notes, or you can come join the Discord and it'll be on there as well if you actually want to play with this team.
Yep. He's also got the rental code out now, so you can play with it on cart.
That's what I literally just said.
You said Paste Bin.
Oh, did I? Because I meant rental code.
I'm like, well, we know about the Paste Bin. We're looking at it right now, pretty much.
Shut
Pokey
up.
Paste. The rental code is out now too.
I know what I meant. I know what I meant.
Yeah, that's not what you said. But yeah, this team again, Lapras, isn't the greatest right now, but this team definitely takes advantage of trying to position Lapras to where it can actually succeed, especially be able to beat out like opposing Rillabooms, beat out opposing Magnezones, other electric types. Conkeldurr does a real good job of covering all those weaknesses for Lapras.
Yep.
Outside of that, Scizor's the one Mon I'm not sure on this team.
It just hits like a truck every time, man.
Like, that's all it's there for, and sometimes I feel like we might need just, like, another special attacker instead of another physical attacker, because Incineroar, Luxray, Conkeldurr all hit physical.
You know what I could actually see in this slot?
What?
Chansey.
Yeah, Chansey wouldn't be bad.
Because like if we're destroying their physical attack, Chansey gets so much better as a special wall.
Yep.
And like I could actually see that being a genuinely good mon in that slot.
Are we going to minimize and size and cost
obviously.
Good.
Well,
it's the only way to play Chansey.
How else would you play Chansey?
I don't know. I've seen people freaking run Thunderbolt and stuff on it.
What kind of support moves does Chansey get? Anything good?
Not a lot. Helping Hand.
It's not awful.
I think it has Heal Pulse.
Alright, now we're talking. Let's see.
Chansey. Has decent special attack for a Chansey.
Oh yeah, its special attack is way better than its attack.
35. Oh boy.
I didn't say it was great, man.
We have Heal Bell, Healing Wish, Light Screen, Reflect.
It gets Ally Switch.
Gets Ally Switch. Thunder Wave.
T-Wave, Substitute.
Copycat.
Screens. Copycat's cute.
Covet. Stealing items from people.
Okay, so...
It gets Gravity.
It gets Life Dew.
Icy Wind.
Helping Hand. Yeah, this is... I legitimately like Chansey in that slot.
We can do Sing Dream Eater things. No. No. Let's not do that. Chansey gets a decent support pull, but most people know it for being able to minimize endlessly. And soft boil and seismic toss.
Which I really like the idea of like substitute minimize, and then you have soft boiled and then whatever in that last slot. So like in the chance they do hit you.
I know people have been running aromatherapy to cure status ailments on their Chanseys if it happens. I know Heal Pulse is another one that's just like really good. Life Dew is another good one. But yeah, this Intimidate Cycle team is pretty good. I've watched it, like I said, I watched a couple times in replays, and it's hard to get a hold of any of the mons on this team and then like actually KO something because everything's always swapping around so fast.
Yeah, it was like, all right, well, Incineroar is the big problem mon for me. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Well, Luxray's also. Oh, it's gone.
What we need is like a flying type to swap in for these for our two Intimidators because they're both weak to ground.
Yeah, that's interesting.
A Braviary or something cool would just be cool like that.
Oh, let's see. If we type in flying.
Corviknight keeps our steel type coverage. Is real bulky. It doesn't like swapping out a lot though.
What about Charizard? Nah. We have.
Nah.
I'm looking at like specially offensive flying types here. We have Noivern.
Noivern gets Tailwind, Boom Burst.
Let's see. Let's sort by special attack. Togekiss. Dude, it's the highest special attack of any flying Pokemon.
That may be true. But
Rotom Fan. Actually, any Rotom would be really good in that slot.
I was about to say anything with Levitate would also be fine.
So let's see. We could do Rotom Wash. Actually, doesn't seem awful in that. Oh wait, no. Rotom Grass. There we go. Rotom Mow.
Yeah, I like Rotom Mow. That's a mon that could hit hard. likes being able can do the swap out thing as well. Rotom gets Volt Switch as well, being able to go in and out, so you can cycle more Mons. Yeah, Rotom Mo could be a replacement for Sizer if you don't like Sizer.
What are you thinking?
I was looking at Emolga. I didn't know what Motor Drive did.
I actually couldn't tell you on that one.
Pokemon speed is raised 1 hit by an electric move, electric immunity.
Interesting.
Notably, it's also a swap out for Lapras. For electric type moves. Just an FYI.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Speed is 103, special attack is 75. You can get to 127 at neutral nature, 252. It's not bad. Discharge, Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch.
Yeah, I like it.
Dual Wing Beat.
Yeah, that one hits hard.
What else do we get? Solar Beam. There you go. Can also Helping Hand Mon. Another Eerie Impulse. Also another Mon that has Volt Switch. There's a couple options you could probably figure out and think about.
I think I like Rotom the most of anything we said. Or I mean, granted, I really like the idea of Chansey, but
Chansey's not bad.
Chansey like gets way better when it can live every hit ever.
Right?
Which, I mean, let's be honest, it's going to at that point.
I was say, and the minute the Dynamax is gone, you just get to start setting up Minimize, and you're golden.
Yep.
So, ready to move on to your electric terrain team here?
Yeah.
It's all in Japanese.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Because it wasn't when I originally saw it.
So, you found this team off of YouTube,
where did
Cybertron.
Go? I think I closed it.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, look, man, I'm not good at this. I don't think I ever opened it, actually. Okay, so this was a team that Cybertron VGC has been playing on YouTube. He has, I think, 2 or 3 videos up with this team. Granted, I've only had the opportunity to watch one of them so far, but this team really, really impressed me in the 3 or 4 matches I got to watch with it. So, is this the exact team? This looks right.
This is the rental code.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I didn't think the original team had Togekiss on it, but so. We have Alolan Raichu holding Choice Specs, Crit Kiss, Life Orb Cinderace, Focus Sash, Single Strike Urshifu, Assault Vest Pincurchin, and Citrus Berry. That is Citrus Berry, right?
Yes, it is.
And DD Female. So, this is like a dual terrain Alolan Raichu team, which I think is really, really cool. And, like, not only do you get to do, like, Raichu things, but like, Cinderace is probably the Mon that is the most dynamic currently in the format if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, Cinderace does a lot of things really, really well, and the fact that it gets Libero is just compounds upon that really, really well.
Like, it single-handedly can take over a game from the point you lead against it. And yeah. I don't think there's any other Mon in the game currently that has that dynamic. I'm pretty sure, like, just watching Cybertron and watching, watching James Beck and watching Moxie Boost and, like, all these VGC Central channels. Like, the games where, like, Cinderace has an incorrect lead against it is going to 3-for-1 someone.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
And it, by itself, with, like, it doesn't matter what you are supporting it with, Cinderace will deal with it.
Outside of Cinderace being the giant Swiss Army knife that it is, Pincurchin being able to set up electric terrain here is really good for this Raichu with Surge Surfer. I was playing something similar to this, but I was using Lapras as my terrain setter because Lapras gets access to electric terrain and psychic terrain through Thunder, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. Which made Alolan Raichu a real good pair for it.
I'm trying to figure out what this poison move is.
It's Poison Gem.
Yeah, that's actually the only poison attack it gets, outside of Toxic Spikes and Venoshock.
Yep.
I know that's what you said earlier, but I'm like, maybe? So I believe this is a mixed sweeper, like, Pincurchin here. And if it's not, I'm really confused about what these other moves are. Because this is Rising Voltage,
yep,
Sucker Punch, Poison Jab. I'm assuming Scald?
It's either Scald or... I don't think... Does Pincurchin get Liquidation?
It does get Liquidation.
So it could be Liquidation, and it just could be Rising Voltage, and that is the only special attack.
So it has access to Surf, Scald, Liquidation, Hydro Pump, and Muddy Water.
I would almost say this is probably Liquidation.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, actually looking at it now, like the damage coming off of this Rising Voltage, even if it's not like statted to be a special attacker, is still massive.
Yeah, 140 is still a lot.
And like then you're like, look at Raichu. Not only do you get the base 140, but then you get stabs, and now you're at 210. Plus you get choice specs, so you're at
A lot.
like 315.
A lot. It's a lot.
So, and like then if you lead Indeedee Raichu, then you get Expanding Force for just as much damage, but on both Mons. So
Yep.
like it does. Like, Raichu is one that I have not looked into at all, but, like, the more games I've seen played with it, the more it has impressed me.
It's definitely cute. It does have a hard time against, like, anything that has a resistance to either electric and or psychic. Which is why we're probably running this Focus Blast here as our last move, just so we can hit opposing dark types super effectively.
Yeah, like, notably, Raichu is not a Dynamax target on this team.
No.
Your big ones are obviously Togekiss with that Scope Lens if you just want to, like, crit kiss people out of the game. Cinderace is the most popular one. And then you have your Urshifu, which also can just mess people up.
Yep. Raichu is literally your behind sweeper.
Yep.
Like, Raichu sits in the back, waits for its time to shine, and then when its time comes, it just gets to sweep teams.
Majority of the games I've watched with this, granted, in like 4 or 5 or whatever, is like Pincurchin or Indeedee plus Raichu. Try to pick them off. Once they've answered it, you bring in Cinderace and Dynamax it and blow up the rest of their team.
Yeah.
It's like, alright, well, cool, you answered one threat, and now that your team's weak enough, here's my actual threat. Like, just having Alolan Raichu as that scapegoat is actually really cool. Plus you're electric terrain, so you're immune to, like, Sleep Powder from Venusaur, you're immune from Yawn from Togekiss. Like, there's a lot of things that just, like, hey, you don't get to do your thing, stop it.
Yep. And then Psychic Terrain means you're protected from priority moves, so you don't have to worry about Fake Out, Prankster Taunt, things of that nature. Helps out a ton there. I wish I would know if this Urshifu is G-Max or not.
I'm assuming it is. Is there?
I also want to know if the Cinderace is G-Max or not.
So that's actually one that got brought up this week in Discord. It's like, what do you gain from not being Dynamax Cinderace? Like, not being Gigantamax Cinderace?
Being able to set Sun?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is like, how much of a difference is setting Sun versus like having that extra 20 points of power. What is that worth to you?
Yeah. I was watching the Players' Cup last night, and there was Dynamax Cinderace instead of Gigantamax Cinderace on some team in Europe, and they specifically had Dynamax because they wanted to be able to change the weather against rain teams and against sand teams, against T-Tar.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me, man.
So that's why I'm interested in knowing if the one on this team is Gigantamax or Dynamax, because outside of being able to maybe change the weather with like Cinderace, there's no way that you can, once weather is set, unless you Dynamax Pincurchin.
Yep.
There's no way to change the weather, and it's stuck that way. So like Cinderace could have a hard time against rain if it's Gigantamax, because Kingdra will outspeed you in the rain, no matter what you try to do.
Mm-hmm.
So T-Tar sets up in front of both Raichu and Indeedee, sets that sand up, and usually you can just scare this Raichu into having to go away with Excadrill T-Tar leads.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this team has really impressed me. And I really want to play with it. Like, I don't think I've ever actually used a rental team, so I'm not even sure how to actually go in and actually do it. But
so you just go to rental teams and teams you're managing, like teams you're renting, and you just put the code in.
Oh, that's literally it.
It's so simple. Like, Pokemon Company made it so simple to do. There's like no gimmick, no backtracking, nothing.
I just have literally never done it.
You're just lazy.
I've never had a purpose to. Like, every team I've ever wanted to play on cart, I've just built. Because, like, building teams in this generation is super simple. And they've just made it easier with the DLC having the vitamin machine. Like, it just makes it so easy that you don't have to do so.
I have zero money because of the damn vitamin machine there on the island.
The number of, like, alright, well, you know, let's just buy 200 of these so I have them. I went from, like, $4 million to, like, less than 100,000 because I just bought all the vitamins for Draft League for the next, you know, month.
Forever.
And, like, the worst part is like, there's been this week, I was super indecisive with what I wanted to do. I think I built Incineroar 3 times before I finally settled on the one I wanted to play.
I built my team middle of the week, before this week. I built it, I think on Sunday, probably when I had it, time off. And I put my Switch away, and I haven't touched the team since because I know I am too indecisive that if I start playing with it, I will make changes, and I don't want to do that because I've already done my calcs, and I can hopefully be able to outmaneuver my opponent's team.
Already know what you're doing, just why change it? Exactly.
I'm expecting, I'm calced to beat Terrakion if that comes up. I'm calced to beat Lapras if that comes up. The rest of the team is a cakewalk because it's no one really scary there. There's no gimmick behind any of them. I'm faster than Alolan Marowak, and I ain't got to worry about that. I'm faster than Crocodile at some point, so I ain't got to worry about that. So, just making sure I don't lose to Terrakion and Lapras is the big ones.
Yeah. So, let's talk about Rain for a little bit, man.
Okay. So,
I know. I feel like we've talked about Rain every week since the DLC has come out too. Eventually,
that's because it changes every week. It changes every week.
You aren't wrong. That's the worst part.
Rain is one of those teams. It's part because it's due to the DLC. It's just a new thing gets iterated on every week. Kind of like how PZ teams change every week and how Psychic Spams change every week. Beat up teams have changed strategies every week. Rain is no exception to that. Rain just keeps evolving and adapting. You can play Hyper Offense Rain. You can play Trick Room Rain. You can play really hard Trick Room Rain. There's a whole slew of things you can do with Rain because you only need 2 Mons and then just find Mons that like Rain.
And that's the thing about Rain is unlike like Sun, you don't have to be a hard rain team. Whereas like Sun, you kind of need some type of benefit for doing what you're doing. Like I feel like Sun, you need more than just one Mon as an abuser to be able to classify it as a good team.
I know a lot of the Sun teams have dropped the Sun part and they're just Torkoal Venusaur, because Torkoal does really good on Trick Room and Venusaur is a really good fast mode when Trick Room is bad. And they've just been slapping him on a Trick Room teams with Hatterene and Dee and then like other support ones. And I know that's what Sand teams were for the longest time. It was T-Tar, Excadrill, and then 4 good Mons.
Yep, and like, I mean, it's crazy to think, but that's just good.
That's what your weather team should be. It should be just like, okay, I've dedicated 2 slots to this weather, 1 setter, 1 takes real good advantage of it, and the rest of the Mons are just good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, that's kind of what I've done. We've done Kingdra and Politoed as my rain duo. Kingdra's Life Orb with Swift Swim, obviously. 220 special attack, 36 special defense to kind of help me hedge against Togekiss, Dazzling Gleam things. Hopefully I survive a non-crit Dazzling Gleam. And then 250 max speed to just be able to outspeed everything once I'm in rain. Politoed is the opposite of it. Politoed is spec'd to be the slowest Pokemon on the field next to a Scavalier, because we have Perish Song on this set, and if you aren't aware, Perish Song, when you faint in speed order, so if your Politoed is the slowest thing on the field, your Politoed faints last and you win the game.
Thank you, Nate, for teaching me that one. Well, for teaching Carl to teach me that one.
Yeah. Pretty close to max HP, 244 HP, 116 defense, 148 special defense. We are the bulkiest of the bulk.
Yep.
Sassy nature just to get extra special defense and reduce our speed even more. I believe mid-speed Politoed is like 33 with Iron Ball.
That's real slow.
Notably, the only things that underspeed you, I think, are Torkoal, Escavalier, and Dusclops. No, Hatterene. Hatterene's at 30. Hatterene's min speed is 30. So Hatterene, Torkoal, Dusclops, and Escavalier all underspeed you. Speaking of Escavalier, Assault Vest Escavalier, Overcoat protects me from Sleep Powder, Hail, Spore, Rage Powder. Amoonguss is like... Amoonguss has got nothing on me for when Escavalier's on the board. 220 HP, 252 attack, 36 defense. Pretty much just like a mirror of the Kingdra set, except no Life Orb to actually take advantage of bonus damage here. 0 speed IVs just to try and be as slow as possible. Notably, I am speed tied with Torkoal.
That's slow.
We are both 22.
That is real slow.
Min speed Torkoal is 22, I'm 22, so it is a coin flip to see if I OHKO them with Drill Run, or if he OHKOs me with either Eruption, Heat Wave, or whatever fire type attack they're running. Close combat to counteract pretty much any kind of Intimidate Mon. So when I go max, I can just max Knuckle and get my attack stat back. Iron Head is just steel coverage move. Notably, our bug move is Fell Stinger. Escavalier is usually a backline Mon when most of the time you either send out Incineroar Togekiss or Porygon Togekiss, and Porygon and Togekiss do kind of their damage roulette thing. You kind of just set Trick Room with Porygon's Dying Breath. Escavalier gets to come in. Escavalier can pick up a KO with Fell Stinger, and he gets +3 attack.
Yeah. That was one that we kind of put together at the start of the beginning of the show today. It's just like, hey, what do you think of this? I actually don't know what that attack does.
I had looked at Fell Stinger earlier, and I wasn't, super sold on it, but I was worse on Megahorn, because Megahorn has 85 accuracy, and I like being able to hit my moves. And X-Scissor felt really, really mediocre, so Fell Stinger is just probably the next best move for a Escavalier to run. Being able to +3R attack on a KO is super valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about Porygon 2, pretty standard Porygon 2 set, max HP, 156 defense, 100 special defense. Notably, I think you get to 190 special defense and 210 defense. I think that's right.
That sounds correct.
No, we're sassy, so it's the other way around. 210
okay.
special defense, 190 defense after Eviolite boost. Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, real good coverage moves. Hits pretty much. I have a way to hit them on at some point.
Yep, Bolt Beam covers basically everything.
Recover just to keep ourselves bulky, and then Trick Room. This is our only way to set Trick Room. Trick Room isn't super duper important. Escavalier is naturally bulky enough to where if Trick Room isn't up, going last isn't going to hurt you a lot of the time.
Yeah, just being able to come in and be like, hey, if Trick Room's up, cool. If not, well, I'm going to be able to take a hit and take you out.
Yeah. Babiri Berry Togekiss. This is full support Togekiss. Serene Grace to get air slash flinches. We are running max HP, 132 defense, 116 special defense, and then 4 in speed and 4 in special attack, because I didn't really want to put the point in either one of the other defenses, and I figured the extra point in special attack and speed might be helpful. Bold Nature, 0 attack IVs, Air Slash, like I said, for all the flinches, Yawn to sleep opposing Dynamax Mons, Protect and Follow Me just to play the mind games a little bit. I thought about Ally Switch on here, but it doesn't do anything really. Ally Switch just you Ally Switch once, and then they either go into game mode of I'm just going to attack like normal, or I'm going to attack opposite, and you just have to keep guessing when to hit Ally Switch.
Ally Switch won me a game this week in Draft League.
I would have Ally Switch on my Draft League, so
I have, I think, 3 Mons that have access to it.
Well, there you go.
And I don't think people ever realize that Kling Kling gets access to Ally Switch.
I knew it.
Oh yeah, I know it, and that's one of the big reasons I picked it up, but that is definitely one where people are just like, huh? Why does it get that?
Last one on this team is Incineroar, safety goggles to prevent Amoonguss from just blowing us up. We are min speed, well, not min speed, but we are minus nature, so our speed is at 72, meaning we underspeed Rillaboom for sure now, instead of being a kind of coin flippy with +1 with a 4-speed neutral nature. Burning Jealousy, Fake Out, Snarl, and Parting Shot. Being as low speed as we are, Burning Jealousy almost always gets burn off if we survive the hit against a Dynamaxmon. If they raise the stat of some sort. Notably, I played a game earlier where they had Kochu Riolu, and I just got to Burning Jealousy every turn because they kept raising stats.
Just be like, hey, go away.
Just you shouldn't be doing this, but I'm just going to keep hitting Burning Jealousy until you're dead. Fake Out is just normal Fake Out support. Snarl, notably, since we can lower attack, being able to lower special attack is also kind of pivotal. Snarl just helps a ton with that fact. Also helps our Escavalier and our Kingdra survive hits more often. Mm-hmm. And then Parting Shot, being able to just swap out instead of having to hard switch Incineroar out all the time.
It's weird to see a Incineroar that isn't physically offensive. Having Burning Jealousy and Snarls is huh? Those are definitely moves he gets.
Yeah, I was looking at Arcanine to start, and I'm just well, Incineroar gets to do Burning Jealousy and Parting Shot, and we still get to do Snarl Fake Out things. Throw safety goggles on this guy, and he can easily just sweep, set up to where everybody else is no damage at all. Escavalier gets to come in and sweep, or Kingdra gets to come in and sweep. Notably, Politoed is not always necessary for Kingdra, and vice versa. Politoed can come in by itself with Togekiss and just smack Perish Song turn 1, and your opponent's got it on a clock. Also, Politoed can sit in the back, and then when your opponent's down to 2 Mons, you can just bring Politoed in, Perish Song, and then just play the whole I have 3 Mons, you have 2 Mons game.
It's well, we're done here.
Yep. Notably, that doesn't work if your opponent has Dusclops and or Torkoal and or Hatterene, which, if that's the case, you need to make sure you KO those mons in those 3 turns while you're trying to stall out Perish Song. I also realized that I don't really care if Dusclops sets up Trick Room because
you're going to abuse it. Yeah.
I have a Scavalier in the back, so it's like, why am I running Taunt on Incineroar? It's not fast enough to taunt any of the Prankster Mons that I care about anyway. So. And
Prankster Mons you're not going to be able to taunt off anyway, so.
Yep.
It's like, well, okay.
Yep. Notably, a Scavalier gets really, really close to OHKOing female Indeedee with Felstinger. So.
Oh, I thought that's why we put it on, is because it could.
Life Orb will KO. Assault Vest does not. Assault Vest gets to about 97, so if we hit Snarl Felstinger, we will be able to OHKO the Indeedee and then get our +3. Not to mention minus special attack, whatever's on the other side.
And that means we get the special attack drop on Indeedee, so then we can actually, make sure that it's not going to deal with us before we can deal with it. Granted, it is Indeedee. I think the only fire coverage move it gets is Mystical Fire.
Yep.
So just being let's just make sure you can't do what you want. Seems.
If your Indeedee is running Mystical Fire, then it's probably not running Expanding Force. That's just kind of how they are. Their move pool, they have a real bad situation of 4 move syndrome. They want to run
everything.
They want to run Protect. They usually want to run Follow Me. They usually want to run Helping Hand. And then it's Expanding Force is usually the best move because it sets its own psychic terrain, so you get the most damage. But then it's you have no coverage for anything else. So it's got 4 move syndrome. It's okay, I want to run Mystical Fire, but now I have to drop one of my support moves. So now I'm not support anymore. Now I got to change my EV spread so I actually can deal damage because I'm running this damaging move. I thought about running Razor Shell on a Scavalier over Drill Run. I had that conversation 3 times since I've been building this team. It gives me another way to set rain. It's pretty close in power level. They're both max move is 130, so it's not terrible. Razor Shell lowers defense, but Drill Run has a high crit ratio. So it's the high roll on Drill Run is really, really good. The ceiling is really high on Drill Run, but the floor is better on a little bit better on Razor Shell sometimes, most of the time.
So, this is what we're locking in for this weekend? 100%?
Yeah. It's currently only 4 people, so I'm going to play probably 2 matches and then be done. But we're hoping that other people register pretty close to the start time tomorrow. I might stream my run of it, depending on how many people we get. It's going to be a big event that I'll probably stream it. If it's also going to be 1 or 2 matches, then I'm probably just going to record the matches and go over them later.
And just have them?
Yeah. But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about this week?
I can't think of anything, man. We covered...
Congratulations to Navier for your wedding. I know it happened. It happened today. We were recording, but it's going to be up. The video episode's going to be uploaded on Monday. So a very belated congratulations on your wedding.
Absolutely, one of the originals in the Discord server, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, really, really excited for him. Congrats to you, bud. I bought him a gift and sent it to him. I messaged him the other day on Discord. I'm like, hey, can I have your address?
Don't mind Carter. He's just being a creeper.
Hey, I am being friendly. There's a difference.
If you get unsolicited mail to your address, you know where to find him. I'll help you find him.
It won't be that hard. I will I was gonna say I'll willingly give people my information, but I won't.
Yeah, I'm about to say no, you won't. You shouldn't.
Not only for my sake, but for my girlfriend's sake too. She probably would not like that too much.
Nope.
Just, hey, why is there random stuff at our house? Like, well, you see what had happened was.
That's when you just go open a P.O. box.
True. I could.
We can start getting fan mail from our whole 52 YouTube subscribers.
If people want to send me fan mail, I will actually go get a P.O. box. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it does,
yeah,
I will go get a P.O. box. Now, because I said this, I'm gonna get people texting me about it. I'm gonna get people asking me about it on Discord. I know that's how this works.
Of course.
I don't know why I say these ridiculous things.
It's so we know that they listen to the episode all the way to the
end. Because the end is really where we just sit around and rant about whatever is on our mind for the day.
Yeah. Here's hoping that my work schedule is to go back to normal.
What's normal, man?
Not working all these mornings at the end of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
Had to work Thursday morning, so you couldn't come over because I was not going to be here when you showed up, and I was not going to be in any mood to actually cook for anybody afterwards. I've been at work since 7:30 this morning. Got off at like 4:30. Got home. So, real long day today. Hopefully we'll just have a quiet weekend and I can actually catch up on everything that we've been kind of slacking off on over the week.
That would be nice, man. I would that's one thing I'm really fortunate about my work schedule for is just you have a consistent schedule.
Yeah, what's consistent?
Granted I have my start time is set, but that's about all that's set. The time I get off is not. So
you get off when you're done. That's
exactly.
How it works.
That's the actuality of it. I am done when I am done. So it's fine. I rather enjoy my job. I rather enjoy getting the consistent work schedule that I have. So yeah, that's life.
Yep. Get us out of here. I gotta go do my draft league match.
Yeah, I gotta go eat. So, let's see. Make sure if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live, because we have all kinds of stuff going up between podcast and draft league and let's plays and all kinds of stuff going up on YouTube right now. So, hit that bell to make sure you're getting notifications when new stuff goes up. Past that, make sure if you're not listening on YouTube, you do everything I just said. Let's see. Make sure you come and join the Discord. It's fantastic. I love every single person in our Discord, and I'm gonna get asked about fan mail this week. So, let's see. We have our Twitter information. We are at LR Lessons. Carl is at musical_33. Musical_33. I think that's the first time I've ever messed up your Twitter.
Damn.
And then I am at Cardinoble25. Let's see. And then we have Twitch information. Carl and I both have Twitch accounts that we stream from at times throughout the year.
I was about to say very rarely, but yeah, that sums it up too.
Carl is at Musical. I am at Mr. Missouri 25. Past that, I think I actually have everything listed off this week. We're gonna get out of here. We'll be back next week to talk about probably some more stuff. Who knows? We'll figure it out then. Have a good one. Peace.